Hello, either lap, shiny day. We arrived at the same time. Huna, hello. Shiny day. We are here once again to perform art. Hello, welcome in. It might be a short stream today. I always say that, but I do have a concept for the first thumbnail that might go very quickly. And hopefully the second thumbnail doesn't take me 5 hours. The day has been wet rather than shiny. I don't mind a wet day. I don't know if I should greet people by saying wet day to you. I think that wouldn't go very well. Lots of rain to clarify. I'm glad you did. Sun makes water shiny. It does. Either lavender ghost. When that has that ever stopped me before? Well, I don't want to be too nasty with people who haven't been around for that long. But so greeting someone like that might be a little off-putting. But as time goes on, maybe to some people I'll greet them with wet day. Why don't we go and jump right into some art? I know exactly which section of the stream I want to screenshot, but we'll still scroll through just in case. Apparently this game is very good if you are into the farming simulator with dating aspects. Your guess is romanceable dragon statue. That would be very interesting as well. But it's not what I have in mind. Julia reacting to the hot lady. Good ideas. I will screenshot her. Just in case. But no, my idea is much more silly than that. I will screenshot hot cut lady for work purposes, of course. Of course. It's my job. I just have to document the things that happen. And hot lady happened, so Okay. So we'll grab this screenshot. I'll wrap this up real quick. See, I see what I'm going for. Grab this and just put these risen. And that's essentially the entire thumbnail. Although I'm not sure if I should write risen or risen. I'll decide that once I get this dialed in. I need a center line. That's text. Gonna put them right down the middle. Apparently, hot goth lady tries to poison you. Which honestly, not really a turn off for me. Maybe I should play this game. Took you an embarrassing amount of time to figure out what Riz meant. You're old. I had a hard time with it at the beginning, but eventually I found out what it meant. I just never asked either. Do I want a gradient in this? Dean, hello. Wet day to you. Think you read Huna's message before you heard that? I mean, you know me. Would it have surprised you? I think I want to get rid of these columns. Do I need to? No. but just to make the centerpiece a little more central. That's a normal Khaz thing to say. Yeah. I imagine you would have been confused as to why, but not really surprised. Don't know if I'm fully happy with the gradient. But it does give it a little humph. Maybe a different color. Maybe the gold. Ooh, the gold does things to it. Gold to white or gold to blue? Nope. Not that blue anyways. No, gold to white is better. Gold to red evokes a different feeling. Give me a little oomph. No, I pronounce it with an H. Because I think that's funnier. Sounds like you get punched. I think that's the thumbnail. It's a given piss, but you may have been corrupted by watching too many trophy and Onset streams. You know, it's still on brand, is the thing. Also, this shape is awfully close to being a wiener. New record? Probably is. So that's what happens when you have a strong concept to start with. Fields, whoops, caps lock, it's on. Fields of Mystria. Olympic thumbnailing. I wonder if there are design speedrun competitions like Excel has. Or across the original intent is for it to look like a cross. Because, you know what, I'm not going to explain the joke. You're going to have to watch the stream to understand what this is, why this is a thing. Oh, I think I saved it to the wrong folder. Did I? I did. How dare I? I have a strong concept a lot of times, which sometimes involves repainting Jacob's teeth. That has happened. Immediately feel bad about After trying to throw together an overview doc for people that want to help you make NPCs for your campaign. A Halo? Oh. I don't know how well that would go, but, you know, we can give it a go. As Matthew Parker would suggest. We'll draw with the ellipse tool. My only concern is that it might be a little too small. It also might look like the main character is dead. If you're not that familiar with religious iconography. Convert to donut and convert to pie. Why are those buttons? Interesting. Can convert an ellipse to a donut. And we'll give it an outer glow. Just to make it Have I changed views in this? I don't remember. Now the third shape can be either a penis or a cross depending on which way you lean. The main character is either dead on top of a penis or they's Jesus. Alright. I actually don't remember how often Jesus is portrayed. The Halo. Just Google Jesus. Either way, they get nailed. I guess the Christian Halo is a little different. I should know that. No, they still use that one. Yeah. I guess I could make it be behind the character. Well, Christianity does this thing with their halo, which is just a glow behind their head. It's a similar concept, but it's like a hat. Just a really big hat. It depends on what you want to portray about Jesus. Remember when I said I was done? Good times. There goes the record. If I do it in less than an hour, it will be faster than anything I've done. No, I think I will keep it like so, because if I do it the other way, it might look like horns coming out of the character. This one is a bit more clear, unless I do want to just go full on circle. And just make it wild throughout. Just give you the same effect. And I'm erasing the wrong thing. Maybe make it slightly golden. What does gold look like? No, it gets lost. Okay. We tried. I don't like this one though. It's also funny to me that the main character is also standing with their hands kind of out, similar to this. Are you liking watching the streams? Thank you. I try to provide an enjoyable experience. I need to move the file that I saved on the wrong folder. Get in here. And then we'll save as. Save your as. Oh, yeah. I do spew a ton of nonsense. Viewer discretion is advised. I should put that on like the starting soon screen. Alright, well, I'm gonna call that done. can move on to the next one. New, oh, new from last preset. Oh, that's not what I want. Oh, it's preset, not template. They try going on the Discord and got immediately overwhelmed. There's like a lot of channels, but honestly, most of them don't get used. Don't be fooled. We even archived some channels because they were no longer being used. Which is a vibe. Supermarket simulator. Now this one, I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with. Given the title, it might be interesting to have the empty room. Between channels to know where to start. If you want to introduce yourself, Breaking the Ice is there for that. It's also our selfies channel if you ever feel like posting one. And then Gen Chat and Watering Hole are the two that mostly get used. And the Screaming Void, I guess. That also gets used a lot. Okay, your courage tonight, introduce yourself. No rush. So if it makes you feel better, like 90% of the active users in that channel have anxiety. To some degree. About social interactions. The rest have regular anxiety about the state of the world. Which is why Screaming Void gets a lot of views. They have something in common to start. Yeah, the supermarket simulator. Playing a game before Jacob and Julia got to it. Nice. It looked like a pretty chill one, to be honest. I was tempted to get it. maybe used young Hillary Clinton lookalike for the thumbnail. The only problem with doing that is that that joke is gonna be relevant for like 2 weeks. Surely this new shawarma meal won't be that small. Send the young and naive version of you 30 minutes ago. It's healthy. Gets a little janky sometimes. You get customers that get stuck in a spot and just stay piled up in their walk cycle without actually moving. Interesting. Average supermarket experience. I'm sure you're bound to get a customer stuck somewhere at some point. I do need a game that I can play without actually thinking about the game. Because I'll be like trying to watch a show and I was playing Final Fantasy VII alongside it, and I had to keep pausing the show so I could listen to the dialogue on the game, because I actually wanted to know what was going on with the story there. So I couldn't play Final Fantasy and watch a show at the same time. I had to like pick one. I guess it's mostly because I'm still early in the game. So there's not like long ass battles that I can just vibe to. But yeah, I've just been playing Timberborn, and I'm playing a little bit of Pacific Drive. But that game also has like some dialogue that pops up every once in a while. When describing his endgame 100% collecting grind of most open world games. Maybe I should do a New Game Plus run of Knack. Shiny the U Plus. Play monotype runs of Pokemon. Turn-based RPGs probably would make it easier, but I don't really like turn-based combat in video games. It's a little too slow for me. I think I actually do have Solitaire on my phone. Is it Final Fantasy turn-based? Not the newer ones. The 7 remake. I guess I should specify that I'm playing the remake. The 7 remake has a bit more action-y combat. And from 15 onwards, they also have a little bit more action-y combat. You can play classic mode on 7 Remake, but I don't vibe that way. It's one of the reasons why I couldn't play the original Final Fantasy. It was just too slow for me. And play any remakes? Yeah. Yeah, the newer ones are more action-y. Dead Cells doesn't have too much reading. Dead Cells has been on my wish list for like ever, and I've never gotten around to playing it. Because I don't know how I feel about roguelikes. I kind of like them, but also I like to be done with a game. And roguelikes are specifically made so you aren't. Riley's gasping at the not playing Dead Cells. I'm sure he is. But that's one of the reasons why I also haven't played Hades, because I mean, I'm sure the story of Hades has an ending, but I don't know how I feel about doing the same thing over and over again. Start a new challenge, Stardew Farm? What is the challenge? Beanie Baby? Jacob showing a clip of a movie? Of course. Maybe I'll just put Jacob on the thumbnail saying Dookie. Only leaving the farm once a month. We were better if concerned Abe hadn't lied about being able to fish. Lying about fishing is a crime. Could do the Simpsons gag with Julia scans an item and it reads on the monitor Dookie. That's an idea. I love a Simpsons reference. Sorry, I had to burp. You're supposed to get fish 50% of the time, but you don't actually. Alright. I wonder if Concerned Ape just ran a statistic and not actually coded in-game variable to be that percentage. I also think I have no notes written down for this stream because of the way it was going. Yep, it was just vibes. Farms only managed to get level 10 farming in 5 years of playing. Isn't that like the whole game? I love the comedy of buying a farming simulator and not do the farming. A lot of farmers in the US. Farms in the US are kind of weird. Bonbon, hello. Wet day to you. Hope you're doing well. Why's my internet being bad? Like blipped a couple times. A full-on fisher miner with a plot of land. That's how I want to live my life. Like they get paid subsidies to not grow crops in order to maintain higher demand in the marketplace and keep prices higher. Yeah, they're weird. They get paid not to farm. You're in the tub. Nice. You love fishing in games? I historically play a ton of games just for the fishing mechanics. My original playthrough of Final Fantasy 15 was gonna be centered around fishing. But then I discovered that I actually had to play through most of the game in order to fish in most spots. So I eventually just finished the game. You drop the phone in the tub, get everyone paddle so it doesn't sink. We'll give it our best. But I must warn you that I do sink in water. I never learned to float. I love gathering crafting in most games. Should have seen your RuneScape characters back in the day. My sister used to play Warcraft just for the, I should say World of Warcraft, for the professions. So she'd be really good at like fishing and mining and tailoring and all those, and do like pretty much nothing of the story and the raids. Once you found a new fictional mom friend, plan to get a crush on for my Final Fantasy 15 playthrough. Yeah, you really found your guy in that game. Oh. Do I want another Julia walking away thumbnail? I've used that concept before. Now, which of these images of... I could do this one. just have... I really need to change the default style on this. You're so scared of losing something, and despite flipping your boat into cold water, you gather your boat, oars, rocks, and water bottle before swimming back to shore. Damn. Couldn't be me. I'd be gone. Pick me up down the river. This is too long. I'll have to make the text too small and put them like way down here. Yeah, no, I don't like that idea. We'll go Simpsons gag. You agree the argument for astrology because the Pisces life is in fact correct for you? Still terrified of deep water? Well, even more reasons to know how to swim. Swim. That's how you say it, right? Can't get trapped in deep water if you swim hard enough. You're obsessed with the Little Mermaid as a child. You annoyed the shit out of your mom because you were pretending to be a mermaid during bath time. Were you also into that one show with the girls that would turn into mermaids if they ever got like in contact with water? Or was that past the obsession era? Just repaint this fridge a little bit to remove the menus. I guess this curve needs to go all the way down to like here. And I'm gonna need a new curve. Or a new line rather. Outline that. Take this color. Make it a little thicker. Going to competitive swimming because who on earth has the energy to get up at 5 a.m. for a preschool practice, then go to work after school? Crazy people. That's who. You need to be out of your freaking mind to be a competitive swimmer. I knew of the existence of the H2O show, but I never really watched it. It was wildly popular in Spain for some reason. Some shows just hit different in some areas. Like Latin Americans' obsession with Dragon Ball. Paint this in a little bit. Shao, hello. Shiny day. I guess we're talking about mermaids and swimming. You know, the usual. I need to be on top of everything else. Now, do I want to bother reconstructing the text that's only here? It's the question I gotta ask myself every morning. Don't think so, it's not important enough. Or just make it look intentional. Gotta extend this down. Whoops, wrong color. Now, do I care enough to put the rest of the cheese back onto the shelf? I don't think I do. So we'll just remove this little corner of product. Make it a little cleaner. Not that it matters. TV is interesting nowadays because when you were little, you were pretty much regulated to whatever networks broadcast. This morning you just watched an episode of Taskmaster New Zealand with no fuss at all. It is fun how we get to watch shows from all over. So now the tool, instead of saying 23, it's the wrong brush. Is going to say wrong text tool. Dookie. Condensed bold. We're gonna make the a little wider. a little taller, just to embolden this text. People aren't even going to be able to see this. It's going to be a joke just for us. This is like the most generic looking thumbnail I've ever made. This to be white. And I don't think it deserves that line. But I do need to add a perspective shift. Live filter so that it's on the screen. I mean, I guess I could do the whole thing slightly bigger. Which basically negates all of the work that I just did. As you do. Classic Khaz experience. Do a bunch of shit and then go, you know what? That wasn't necessary. Delete your art. I'm not wearing my delete your art hoodie. I'm wearing the like the metal one. I am going to paint these fingers back on. It's a bit more noticeable that she's clutching the money. Get the shadow in there. Should paint the shadow first. Yeah. Stinabug, hello. Shiny day. Trying to decide what else I want to do with this. You went behind on catching SSS streams that played Supermarket Simulator? They did last Sunday. They basically ignored the game completely and mostly talked about how to hold a conversation in social situations and other like live topics. Could put something silly on the conveyor belt. Unfortunately, the only thing you can think of is the brown baby Yoda. We're gonna just Google Piss Boy Let's see what comes up. A jug. Cool. Druskiski, hello. Oh, it's the one Calvin statue. Okay. Baseball trophy. Joy or olive on the conveyor. Could be interesting. I think they do. Oh. I'll also put Julia's Beanie Baby on the conveyor. But there is a moment where Timid Cat, why are you behind the microphone? I could take that image of her. I mean, I could probably go to their Twitter and find some cat pictures. You've been working on a new to you guitar technique. Have I had any experience with Travis picking? I do not. I'm not picky about my Travises. Make a joke about when you pick up a celebrity, Travis. You know any Travises? Yeah, Willingham. Is the one I do know. Do I do a lot of finger picking? I do actually. It's the way I play the guitar most comfortably. I do not really know how to regular pick a guitar. I don't know if the perspective is going to work out for this one, but we'll try. Travis unlock. You sure do, Lap. Isn't Travis Pastrana a guy? I do classical style finger picking? Yes. He's a guy, okay. I mean, I don't know if I'm following like the style 100%, but I do it as closely as I've seen it done. Here's what I can tell you. From like classically trained guitar players, of which I would name examples if I remember any. Shadow? Think I know that name. Ninners, hello. Shiny day. Welcome in. Okay, I'm gonna mask this. See if this will even work. Olive, I'm gonna need to flip you. This is not gonna work. Just a celebrity in the US, you think, and one of those flamenco guitar players in the world that I probably have heard her stuff. I just don't remember the name. Famous celebrity and cryptic gas. Sure. Perspective. It's gonna be a cardboard cutout of Olive. That looks so flat. She looks so flat. The perspective is correct, but the 3D-ness of it is not. That's so funny. Seen flat human, appallingly flat Olive. She's olive oil. They were selling oil. Oh, it's so funny. I need to remove. No, I need to. No, I need to. No. Oh, I didn't want to do that. To remove the mask. No. Cats just have a very small surface tension. I could alternatively do some of this. Kind of reshape Olive into the lighting doesn't match. It's completely backwards. You know what? It's funnier this way. Is there any other cat image that I can use? I mean, there's many. But I think I'm committed to this one. I do need to add the SSSI. Somewhere in here. I wanted to add the Beanie Baby as well. But I need a better screenshot. Turns out ADHD brain will often remember a fun fact, but not where he got it from, and repeat it back to you like a week later with so much joy. I think I've done that a couple times. Especially when you know that it's like a thing that person likes. And you're like, did you know this? And they respond to you, yes, I do know because I told you. And because it's not unlikely that it would happen to me, whenever someone repeats something they've already told me, because sometimes they would I would have repeat conversations with people. And I would just pretend that it's the first time we're having that conversation. Why make a fuss about it? As well as when your dad sent a picture of you and Grover back to you. Just try to send it to other family members but misclicked. Looks so funny on the chat. If you're a stoner, repeat conversation are always as fascinating as the first time. You don't even need to be high, you just need to be empty brain enough to not remember that you already had that conversation. I'm glad the first thumbnail took so little so I could spend an ungodly amount of time painting in a pelican. It's time management. It is what I do. Not just a pelican, it's Scoop. You're right. I shouldn't disrespect Scoop. You have the problem that you will repeat yourself not because you don't remember having the conversation, because you don't know what other people around you have remember. You'll tell the same story all over again because you think they forgot. I think we've had a few conversations where you've told me the same thing again, but I appreciate the context because I don't remember what I could have forgotten about the situation. So I'm like, okay, refresher. And then we move on. Not like intentionally calling it a refresher, but in my own mind, I'm like thinking maybe I remember this, but I don't know if I've forgotten anything about it. So I'm just going to listen. You also need a slight perspective shift. Snaggle, hello. forgetting which button I need to press for this. Shift? It is shift. What's this? What are you? You are part of that. Damn it. Yeah, okay. This needs some contact shadows. So I'm gonna have this color. Is that a little darker? Not by a lot. It's noticeable. Not really. But do I care? No. Why would I? This is such a mess. I've resorted to my card pins to be a shape that I follow rather than a set of numbers. Because if I try to remember a set of numbers, I'll double or I'll second guess the numbers that I'm putting, especially because I've changed my pins a couple times just to be safe. The mouse is also a shape, which sucks if you travel internationally and the normal angle is different. I haven't had that issue yet, but I wonder if I'll ever run into it. Thankfully down here in America the keypads are essentially the same. They're like in order 1 through 9, top to bottom, as opposed to 1 through 9 bottom to top. It'll be a real doozy the second someone decides to make it 1 through 9 left to right. Then I'll be in distress. Recently you found less variation when you were younger. Some countries needed more numbers for a pin, so your cards never worked. I had the issue with some of my cards when I was visiting the US the first time, where they just wouldn't read. I think it's because they were debit cards, or like they weren't tied to a checking account. So they just wouldn't read. But now that I have like a more proper bank account, shouldn't be an issue. That was a thing with your bank app, which was interesting. It was like, this fingerprint is not from the same person. I think. I don't know if it... I don't think it actually gave any error message, it just wouldn't register. It worked fine on my phone when I put Lep's fingerprint. I just had to like re-enable it because the configuration had changed. But after that it was fine. But on Lep's phone it just wouldn't work. So she had to remove my fingerprint. Debit being hit or miss is a problem for you. A Brit, you mostly use debit. I also use debit a lot. Down here, cards have become just a second wallet, so most people have a card that is just how they handle their money, no credit in it. We also have a separation between checking accounts and a type of account that's called Vista, Cuenta Vista, which is basically a checking account, but it has a limit on how much money you can have in it, and it doesn't offer you any type of credits. And recently, there's been some online ways to acquire a card that are like prepaid cards that have like more limitations, but you can get them without any of the paperwork, without having to like declare that you have an income and everything, which is the type of card I was using the first year or so when I got my job as a manager for the SSS channel, because I didn't have any way to prove that I was making that money. And you need a record of like at least 6 months to a year, depending on the accounts. So even if I wanted to, I just couldn't have one, but now I can. I actually need to go pick up some cards. I was gonna do that this morning because I opened a new bank account that has like, it actually allows me to use USD directly, so I don't have to like convert it. But I woke up a little too late for what I wanted, and I ended up not going. I'm gonna go there tomorrow. I also used to use my watch a lot for payments, because I can have my card in there, so it was a lot easier. But some machines would like freak out when I use my watch, and I also like bricked a. Well, I wasn't bricked. I think I just restarted. But I went to a supermarket and I went to scan my watch, and the whole thing, it was a self checkout machine, and the whole thing just restarted. And I had to gesture to someone and be like, I was gonna pay, but now something happened to the machine. So I had to go to a different machine and do the whole process again. It was like I have some cash on hand. I also do like to have cash. Like I do have some USD in my wallet in case I need to. The stupidest thing, when I was in LA, we went to have lunch with, or we went to buy lunch with Claire. Shout out to Claire. And we went to this one place and I was gonna pay because I had the money. And Claire had driven all the way to LA to visit me. So I was like, at least I'm gonna get them lunch. And I tried to pay with my cards and none of them worked. I was like, well, shit. So Claire paid for the food. It was like $20. And then we were sitting outside and I went to store my cards and I had like $40 in cash. I was like, I could have just paid cash. This was like not an issue. But I forgot I had the cash in my wallet because I was so annoyed that the cards weren't working. So I paid back immediately. I also had to pay cash on my train ride out of New York because I couldn't find where to buy a ticket. So the train conductor sold me a ticket. And the card wouldn't read, like either the chip or the magnetic band. So it's like, that's fine, I have cash. She had to go like all the way back and get me change because I assume no one pays in cash. Has anyone seen the beans recently? They are somewhat active on their own Discord server. I know Rachel was on like a trip recently. They're doing fine. Last time you went to dinner with friends, your card had just expired that day, didn't notice it. So glad you discovered it with trusted friends because you would have been so embarrassed. Yeah, I mean, cards last so long that you kind of forget that they expire. Is this a thumbnail? What a freaking disaster of a thumbnail. I'm gonna do levels adjustment to these little guys. Try to make them look like they're in the same environment. Oh, this is such a silly thumbnail. Fully send you a new one, you didn't check your mail. I don't know if my bank mails cards. Well, I haven't been part of a bank for long enough to do that, but considering that I have to go pick up the cards at one of their offices. A lot of that also has to do with paperwork. Still pissed that the last time you renewed your card, you did it online, it took them 3 weeks to send it to you. In person, it takes 5 minutes. Yeah, the last card that I acquired from asking a representative or like an like a person working there to getting my card, it was like 2 hours at most. Maybe less than that. Maybe it was like an hour. And a lot of that time was spent waiting for someone to be available because the queue was a little long. Because they just print you a card. I do much prefer the stamped cards that have like the relief on the, or the beveled letters numbers, because my current card just has like the last 4 digits on the card because the CVC is dynamic, so it changes all the time, but it doesn't even have my name on it. So I guess it's like really secure, but also really annoying to use because I can't check the numbers on the card. I need to like go to my phone every time. Swapping to like flat cards now instead of the beveled. I'm hoping that this bank that I'm going to get or that I got my new account with, will have the beveled ones, because that's the one card that I got from them is like that. Don't imagine they've changed, but if they have, I'll be sad. At least the card that I have now has a cool design on it. It's like flowers and shit. Don't worry, there's nothing on this card that will identify it. Should probably... It's like nice little design. It also has an indent, so people with vision impairments can tell which side the card is on. It looks like a hotel card, yeah. It doesn't really look like a bank account card. If it wasn't because it has like the... Oh, it does have my name on it. Cool. Didn't realize. But yeah, if it wasn't because it has a Visa logo on it, could be anything. Am I done? Actually, let's move to this so that I can upload these thumbnails and I don't forget. Because I think we're done. Don't dox myself. I don't think there was anything doxable in there. This is Fields of Mystria. It was a fast stream. The first thumbnail definitely helped with that. To schedule this for tomorrow. I keep videos unlisted for a while in case some copyright holder needs to check them. Because if you set them to private immediately, you get hit with the strike or with the ID claim as soon as you publish the video, then there's nothing you can do. Enjoy your food, Snaggle. I also need to go eat. Thankfully, we have a bunch of leftover food from when I went to visit my parents. Which apparently was also a birthday celebration for my in-law. Had no idea. It was news to me, but it was fun. We ate entirely too much. Why? Because he doesn't ever talk about his birthday, and my sister told me, like, I learned on like Thursday that his birthday was on Sunday, and when she told me that we were going to visit my parents, she specifically said that we were going to visit my parents, not that we were going there because it was a birthday celebration. So I just got there and there was cake. And a ton of food. I can't be mad at my sister though, because she's the only one that tells me what's going on around the family. If it wasn't because of her, I wouldn't know anything. When my parents decided to move out, I asked, they were gone for like a couple of days. I asked my sister, oh, when are they coming back? And she was like, oh no, they moved out. All right then, I guess I'm in charge of the house because I'm the only one with a stable income. Anyways, that's not your problem, that's my problem. And my problem right now is that I need to go eat lunch. So I will go do that. I'll be back on Thursday and we'll finish Astro's Playground. And we'll probably have to change to a different game halfway through the stream, unless I stretch Astro's Playground for a while. This week normal, as far as I'm aware, this week normal, and it will be normal until like halfway through September. Although technically the 15th is a holiday for me, but at those holidays don't apply to me. I don't get days off Or I get days off whenever I want, but I don't get days off because the government says so. And assuming I've done all my work, because taking a day off just means working more before, working more after. So it doesn't fucking matter. Anyways, having Khaz, you've been wonderful. Remember that you're very important to me, and remember to B flat. Worcestershire.